Hello and welcome to the Sell Smarter, Sell Faster livecast. This is episode 2. I'm Dani Buckley. I'm your host, and I am excited that you're here with us. Welcome, and we're joined here with Shay Smith, our producer. Shay, you seem to be somewhere a little different today. How's your Wednesday going?
Wednesday's good. I'm actually at the Ritz-Carlton in Orlando, closing out the Florida Public Relations Association annual conference. So I've been here since Sunday, learning and growing and networking with people all across the state. So it's been really fun. And I have this beautiful background. So there could be people walk by because I'm at a conference center. So just ignore that.
Yeah, we make it work. We're wherever we got to be on the road. Well, we're excited you're all here, and we've got Matt Sunshine, who we're going to be talking to in a little bit, and we're ready to talk more about all the different ways that we can help you guys out there watching this help your sales organization sell smarter and sell faster. That's what we're here for: fresh insights, strategies, best practices, and real world examples. That's what we're trying to bring to you every week. So this livecast is always focused on sales growth. That's what we're always going to come back to. And Shay, tell us a little bit more about how everyone can find us and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I'd love for everyone to visit sellsmartersellfaster.com. That is our website. You can connect with us there. We'll be putting past episodes up. It is a weekly live cast. And if you are watching us live, you can comment, you can ask questions. We'll try to get to them during the episode. If you are not subscribed yet, we'd love to go and subscribe. So if you're watching right now, go ahead and subscribe. If you can comment even later, if you're not watching live, share some feedback. We'd love to hear it. We'd love your comments. So go subscribe. We'll be here weekly on YouTube. And I think that's about it. Go visit our URL, sellsmartersellfaster.com.
Yeah. And if you are live right now, let us know where you're watching from. We always love to know where everybody's at. So I'm in Alameda, California. Shay, as she said, is in Orlando. I'm in Orlando, Florida. And we'd love to hear from you guys. So drop a comment right now. So let's jump into today's topic. We're going to be talking about blogging. And you might possibly be thinking, what does blogging have to do with sales? Well, it has a lot to do. And that's what we're going to get into. And this was really important to us that this was one of the early episodes because it is often, blogging is considered really just like a marketing initiative. And while it is often overseen by the marketing department, it really is, in most cases, business blogs is a sales initiative. The goal is to drive leads, develop thought leadership, and ultimately produce more sales and more conversions and enable the sales process. And so a good business blog, that's what it does. And that's what it's able to achieve. And so blogging is, for kind of a bigger picture here, blogging is part of an inbound marketing strategy, an inbound strategy. And what we believe is that all the best sales organizations have both an inbound and outbound strategy, right? So you've got different ways that leads are coming in, prospects are finding you online and able to easily connect and engage with you and your team. Meanwhile, you've got great, smart, talented salespeople that are out there, reaching out, making appointments, doing what they do best. And you want both. You want that balance. You want them to complement each other. And typically you don't want to rely on just one or the other. And so what we're going to get into today is a little bit more about how at the Center for Sales Strategy, we were able to do that over the years. But before we get into that, Shay's going to share a little bit with us about just kind of why blogging, like not just take it from us, but a little bit more into, why it works and how it works.
Yeah, so we have so much success from our blogging efforts, and it is something that's collaborative between the marketing and the sales team. But I went and found some stats. I've got in my notes here, and some research. What are other people? How successful is it for just other businesses and organizations? So one of the things I found was those who prioritize blogging are 13 times more likely to have positive ROI on their efforts. It's a big jump. SEO leads have a 14.6% close rate, while outbound leads, such as direct mail or print advertising, have a 1.7% close rate. That's huge. So blogging really fuels that SEO effort. It's a big part of that.
Yeah, just to pause there, so when we talk about SEO, that's one of the primary forms that blogging brings people to you, right? Getting found in search results. And the reason why that conversion rate can be so much higher is because those are people searching for you. They're already in their process. They're already looking for answers. And you happen to be the person or the business that can answer those questions and that they find in their journey versus, of course, when we're casting that wider net with with direct mail or outbound prospecting, which are still can be really valuable things to do. You're looking more for like the needle in the haystack in those situations of who might be ready and who might want to talk. So I think that's what attributes to the larger conversion rate for more of that organic type traffic.
Yeah, and organic traffic is the number one traffic driver to our site. And I know it is hugely, because that's the right word to use, because of our blogging efforts, which we'll get into later when Matt joins us. But another stat I found was 57% of marketers say they've gained customers specifically through blogging. B2B marketers who have blogs get 67% more leads than those who don't. And related to that stat, businesses that blog get 55% more website visitors than businesses that don't. Again, going back to that SEO effort and that organic traffic that it drives. So I just thought those were really interesting because we see the success from our blog and our blogging efforts, marketing, sales enablement, inbound marketing, lead gen. It really touches all of that. And it really does drive leads and those website views through those efforts. So those are some cool stats that, other people are doing research and finding as well.
Yep, exactly. And what you're going to learn, and I know we're going to bring Matt on in just a minute, is that the Center for Sales Strategy, which is our parent company here at Lead G2, and this livecast is powered by Lead G2. This is how it all started for Lead G2 to even exist, was that the Center for Sales Strategy got into blogging and found great success. And we realized it's something that we want to help our clients with. And that's really kind of how we formed. So without further ado, I'll let you make the introduction, Shay, and we'll bring Matt in.
All right, here we go. This is what Matt does on his live cast. He prints out the bio so we don't miss anything. So I did this for him too, so I can introduce him this way. Matt Sunshine is the managing partner at the Center for Sales Strategy, a sales performance company that helps sales organizations attract, retain, and develop the highest performing salespeople. Matt's areas of expertise include growing sales organizations, finding and developing sales superstars, sales process, lead generation, inbound marketing, and digital marketing. And he is a featured writer for one of the top sales blogs in America and a regular contributor to leading business blogs and magazines such as Inc., Sales and Marketing Management, Sales Hacker, and Entrepreneur. In 2012, Matt developed and launched Lead G2, an inbound marketing and sales enablement company that helps businesses establish thought leadership and lower lead costs. Lead G2 has earned the premier HubSpot recognition as a Diamond certified partner. He is the author of Getting Prospects to Raise Their Hand, and Forbes magazine lists Matt as one of the top 20 speakers you shouldn't miss the opportunity to see. If you'd like to connect with Matt, we'll have his connect info up here later. I am going to bring him in. Hello, Matt. Thanks for joining us today. Hi, I'm going to jump out. But before y'all start talking about how to build a world-renowned B2B blog, I just want to note that the blogs that Matt has started and established and grown collectively average 48 to 50,000 views per month and have over 8,500 blog subscribers. So I'm excited to hear what you have to say. And Dani, y'all take it away. I'll see you in a little bit.
We didn't always have that many.
Yeah. Those are impressive numbers, but I know it's taken a little bit of work, right? Well, welcome, Matt. I'm so glad you're here. I'm excited to get into this topic. It's something I know well, but it's really, I always learn something new when I get to hear about the kind of the path of that you've taken. So, and I'm excited for everyone else to get a chance to do that too.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's jump in.
Cool. Well, to kind of set the tone for everybody, tell us about the CSS blog. Like, who is the audience? What kind of content are you creating? Just kind of like paint that picture a little bit.
Yeah, so at the Center for Sales Strategy, we're a sales performance company, and the clients or the prospects or the people that we talk to most often are salespeople and sales leaders, business owners, chief revenue officers, really anyone that is highly accountable to driving revenue for their business. And so when we started our blog, it's like, let's make sure that we're answering the questions that those types of people would have, that we're being helpful, that we're just doing our part of being good at contributing to their success to the best that we possibly can through blogging.
Yeah, got it. So you're always thinking about what's going to help them, right? What's going to be not necessarily what you want to tell people, but what's going to be helpful. Is that right?
Early on, we had a big debate inside, right, on what does this blog want to be. I mean, because we started from no blog. We didn't have a blog that we just tried to fix. We had zero. And we made the decision that we were going to be more helpful than promotional. Period. Yeah. End of story. That not everything that we do had to generate a lead, and that was perfectly fine. And we made the commitment, and we said, if we can't live by that, then we shouldn't do it at all. And that's the style that we wanted, because we truly were doing this from we want to help businesses to grow their business. We want businesses to be able to come to us as a safe place where they can count on getting good quality information that will help them to grow their business, improve their sales, improve their revenue.
Yeah, perfect. So going back, I guess it's 10 years or so now, right? Is that the right timeline about?
Yeah, 10 years. Yeah.
When you were having this conversation, like you said, you were thinking about starting a blog, you didn't have one. So tell us kind of, what were the problems you were trying to solve? Like where were you as a business at?
So let's go back 10 or 12 years, whatever it was. We were just coming out of the recession, the 08-09 recession. The company was doing fine, but when we looked at our situation, we had one client that represented almost half of our revenue came from one client, and that was a pretty scary place to be. It's awesome because you have such a nice big client, and they still are a great client, but one client representing half your business is scary. So we decided that we needed to do something to diversify our portfolio of clients. And when we looked at the sales process, and we do the same thing with the clients that we talk to, we said there's really three areas. There's the selling, there's the lead generation, getting new prospects, there's the selling of a solution, and then there's the delivering of the service. And one of the things that when we did this analysis, we said one of the areas that we really are not very good at is the lead generation. I'll get to that in a second. We were really good. If we could get with someone who had a need for what we did, we closed the majority of those accounts. And we retain well over 90% of our business year in and year out. So we didn't have a problem with selling solutions. We didn't have a problem with delivering results. We had a problem with lead generation. And the problem that we had was this. The way we typically would grow is that a client would leave their current job, a CEO of a company or a head of sales of a company would leave their current job and go to another business to be the head of sales over there. And they'd call us up and they'd say, hey, can we do business? And by the way, that's a great way to do it. We love that, but that's not predictable. And we were trying to answer the question of how can we grow revenue? How can we get more leads? And how can we also nurture all the leads that we have that we're not doing anything with right now, that we need to be in front of them all the time, and we're just not. And that's really important to us. So it was that problem that we were trying to solve, that specific problem that we were trying to solve.
Yeah, so creating new business through lead generation. Got it. So I know the story. I know that right off the bat, you didn't all of a sudden have this world-renowned blog, right? That there was some time. So take us back to the time period when things, you were just getting started, to when things started to go well. What was happening? What did you learn, and what was kind of happening when things started to turn for the best for the blog?
So early on, I mean, we didn't have anyone that was responsible for doing our blogging. I just kind of took the responsibility of doing our blogging. And then I got people inside the company to help and write blogs and, hey, why don't you write something on this? And so we kind of just like piecemealed it together. We were doing the very best that we could. In the beginning, Shay was so nice to talk about how we get 50,000 a month or whatever. In the beginning, I think we maybe had 50. And I think most of them are related to me in some way or another. But then it grew. I got some numbers. In 2014, we hit the threshold of 10,000 page views, and then in 2015 we hit 15,000 page views, and then in 2019 we hit 29,000 page views, and then over the last year we've been averaging 45,000. I think we've almost hit 60,000 in 1 month, but it keeps growing and growing. And again, it's all organic. I mean, everything that we do is just by us sharing it and people finding it.
Yeah. Yeah. So patience played a role too, but also persistence and consistency. Is that right?
It's hard in the beginning. I mean, it's like you want instant success, and you think you write this amazing. I remember some of the blogs that I would write, and I was so proud of them, and I'd put them up there, and I would go and check the views a few days later, and there's like 6. And you get an email from a family member. It's, Matt, I read your blog, and you're like, oh, great, that's 1 of the 6.
Yeah. So let's get a little more into kind of the processes, because I know people are always interested about this, especially for a big, successful blog. So who writes for the Center for Sales Strategy blog? Who manages it? And like, what does kind of those internal processes look like for you guys?
Yeah. So we write our own blogs. The Center for Sales Strategy, we write our own blogs, and that was a decision that we decided to make. I mean, that's not necessarily the best decision that for every company to make, actually, but we feel as though we have really we're in the expertise business. In whether it's the Center for Sales Strategy, Lead G2, or Up Your Culture, we really are in the expertise business. And so we feel as though our people have the best expertise. So we spend a lot of time thinking about what are the common problems, what are the common questions that our clients and our prospects have in an area that we feel as though we have that expertise, and then we write about those subjects. And when we have a process internally where our team shares what our keywords are, and our team shares what our topics are, and then we encourage people to write, and then it goes through an editing process. And I mean, we make sure that it's all optimized and correctly done. But really, I mean, it comes right from real conversations when you're talking to a business manager or sales leader at a business, and they're talking to you about how they're really frustrated because this can't happen, and then you give them some experiential advice or some here's a best practice that we think you should follow. Well, why shouldn't we just write a blog about that exact same thing?
Yeah,
and those are some of the blogs that get the most views and actually drive the most leads.
Yeah, it's often is like the simplest topics that you're just hearing all the time. So I know there's a lot of folks out there who probably are nodding their head thinking, yeah, we are the experts too. We should be the ones writing our blogs, but we know it's not always that easy as just being able to be the expert. So do you have any tips for creating a culture that encourages that, or ways to get people to write internally?
Yeah, so I get asked this question a lot when I'm out speaking. I get asked this exact question a lot. And the other question that kind of ties to this is, aren't you worried that if you give away your expertise, that they won't hire you? That someone would say, you know what, I don't need to hire you, I can just read your blog. So there's both of those things. So the way I encourage people to get started, do it, right? Start writing a blog. Think about what you want to do. In fact, if you go on our website, if you go on the Lead G2 website, we've written enough blog articles on exactly how you should start your blog. I wrote a book. You can go buy my book, and I tell you exactly what you need to do, exactly what I did to start. But start publishing. I mean, you are what you publish. If you don't publish, you're not there. It's kind of like this. So you hear about a brand new restaurant that opens in your city, and you're like really excited, but it's not very close. Maybe it's 45 minutes away. But you're excited to go, and you're talking about it. And so you look it up on the internet. You look to go see their website on the internet, and you learn that they don't have a website. Isn't there a part of you that starts to wonder, I wonder if they're open? I wonder if they're actually in business yet because they don't have a website. Or you put in their address and it doesn't show up in Google Maps. Like, I wonder if they're really there. That's the same with B2B, right? You're talking to a prospect, and after you leave, they kind of like you, and they're like thinking, oh, I should check this guy out. And then they go to your website and they want to learn about your business, or they want some of the questions that are going through their mind. They want to be able to answer those questions. If you're not there, you're not there. And the other thing on the expertise thing, I'll just say this. I watch a lot of HGTV, like all of it. I consume all of HGTV. Wouldn't it be great if you could have like Chip and Joanna come and design your house for you? Like, wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Like, you watch that, you think it'd be awesome because you perceive them as being the expert, not because they are doing a sales pitch, because they're not. They're just helping people to do something that they need to do. But as the person watching, you're like, I like what I'm seeing that they do. I wish I could do business with them.
Yeah.
Well, that's when you become a thought leader, or when you commit to publishing often, you become that expert. You become that thought leader to your prospects and your clients. They're going to, when they're ready to do business, they're going to reach out to you. So that's why we do it. And that's how someone should get started. That's the why. And I think people have more of a hard time deciding why to get started versus what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Once you get the why, you're set. Once you get the why, you're in. You'll figure it out.
Absolutely. I agree. And a good, that kind of takes us to the next question, because a good reason for why is, what kind of ROI can people expect? I mean, we've talked about leads, we talked about it, but like even getting more specific, what kind of things have you seen over the years contribute? Maybe even the stuff that might be unexpected for some people.
Yeah. So, I mean, everyone likes the story of someone did a Google search and then they reached out to you. But let me give you two examples of real life ROI. So someone does a Google search, and in this case, they Google search, I think, digital needs analysis. And you know, we work with a lot of media companies at the Center for Sales Strategy, and media companies are trying to sell more of their digital capabilities. So a head of digital revenue for a big media company Google searched, after coming out of a meeting, digital needs analysis, and sure enough, the articles that pop up are from the Center for Sales Strategy. So he noticed that my name was on it. He didn't know me, but he noticed my name, so he looked me up on LinkedIn. And then he noticed that I was in Texas and he was in Texas. So he messaged me on LinkedIn and said, hey, my name is, I understand your company does, can I start a conversation with you? And we had a conversation, and they're now a client. He never filled out a form. Never filled out a form. So those people out there that are looking for ROI and they're like, well, I don't know if we should count that. Well, I count that, because I would have never found this person. Here's another real life example. So we had a prospect. We had a prospect that we had been working for a long time. One of those prospects where you're working for a long time, you think you're going to get the deal, and then they ghost you. They go away. And it was very frustrating to us. So one day I actually was flying to a client. I'm in the air. I'm on my laptop. I'm on Wi-Fi. And I get an alert that this prospect is downloaded an ebook from us. So I reach out to one of my colleagues that was working with this prospect, and I said, hey, when's the last time you spoke to Dan at XYZ company? And he said, it's been probably 60 or 90 days since I spoke to him. I said, really interesting, but he just downloaded an ebook. He's on our website today. You ought to reach out to him today or tomorrow. So sure enough, we reach out to him the next day. Dan responds back and says, so funny, I was just thinking about you guys the other day. I'm glad you connected. And they're still a client today. Again, nobody filled out a form, but they used our content. So those are two examples of ways that you get ROI that you might not be thinking about. And to me, that's money in the bank. I mean, that's the best.
It's gold, because it's very rarely, not impossible, but it's rare that it's that very linear. Like you said, someone just finds you, you've never heard of this amazing company, they download something, a salesperson emails them, and they buy, right? So I'm glad you pointed those out, because it is complex. I mean, the journey is complex, and a blog in particular, and content and inbound marketing does contribute to selling smarter and faster, because it helps in all those different ways, like you just mentioned. So those are really good examples. Well, I'll close you out with just like a more open-ended question here. like kind of final tips would you have for someone who maybe just has started this venture or thinking about starting a B2B blog? What are the big tips you would give them?
So here's the big tip. I did it for a year on my own and I struggled. The first year that we did inbound marketing at CSS, if I'm being completely transparent, it was very, very difficult to do it on my own. I had no one to bounce ideas off of. I didn't know if I was doing it right. I was truly a do-it-yourselfer. And it was after that first year we started to see some results. I was like, man, I wish I would have hired somebody to be my coach or my mentor or a consultant or a firm, because what I learned is not everyone's a good writer, but they have good thoughts. And so if you can capture their thoughts, but hire a writer to write, that's the best of both worlds. And so the advice I would give is don't try to go it alone. Don't try to go it alone. There's no reason to go it alone. Get someone to help you do it. I mean, do it yourself if you want do it yourself work, but it's going to cost you more money. It's going to take you longer than you think it's going to take. And you're going to make mistakes along the way. That is do it yourself, right? I mean, that is what happens. Like if I do yard work, right, it ends up costing me more money in the long run because I got to go buy tools I've never had before. I make a ton of mistakes along the way and it takes forever because I don't know what I'm doing, versus hiring an expert to come and do it. In the beginning, I wish I would have hired somebody because I think we could have accelerated that first year in a big way.
Yeah, that's a really good tip. And how do you feel about taking one more question? Because we actually have one in the comments, and I think I'd be curious what your answer is. Okay, put you on the spot. So Danielle asks, how often should a company post blogs? Like, what is the sweet spot between being visible and providing content and maybe overkill?
Yeah, I think it depends. How about that for a consultant answer?
I know.
Depends.
Well, let's close it out now. There we go.
So the more it's not how often, it's how good is the content. So good content produced often, home run, right? Why not? If it's really good, no one's going to mind that you're producing a lot of it. Now, if you're just producing a lot so you can check a box that you say it's a lot and it's not very good, you'd have been better off just doing one a week. Mm-hmm. Right? You'd be better off doing one a week that's really, really good than 5 a week that aren't very good. However, at Center for Sales Strategy, we do 5 a week. And I think they're all really, really good because quality is one of our core values. And we wouldn't put anything out that wasn't good. But if I didn't think we could do 5 good ones, we would cut back. Yeah,
great. Nice depends question, but it does depend. And I think that helps. Don't sacrifice quality for quantity, but quantity does matter.
Right, for sure. Cool. Quantity does matter.
Great. Well, Matt, this was a pleasure. Thank you so much. I learned some new stuff. We've got the centerforsalesstrategy.com website URL. People can go check out the blog if you're not familiar and see what all we're talking about, and also connect with Matt in lots of different ways. And yeah, just thanks for joining and sharing your insights with everybody. It was really nice.
Thank you very much. Love being here.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Hello. I'm joining right as the session's getting out. So
it's all right. Welcome back, Shay.
That was an awesome conversation. I was in the background, like nodding my head the whole time. I love it.
So just to kind of close us out, make sure you visit sellsmarter.sellfaster.com. We share recaps of the livecast episodes. We also have all kinds of other resources linked to where you can go deeper on these topics and get more information. And I know we've got an episode next week. So tell us about that, Shay.
Yeah, so next week we are going to be talking sales playbooks. We're going to have Harry Clark with Market Ingenuity, and he's going to be discussing, and you're going to be discussing with him, how you can most effectively roll out and utilize a sales playbook inside a multi-market sales organization. And just to note, next week our livecast is going to be on a Tuesday. So same time, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, but it's going to be on Tuesday next week with Harry Clark from Market Ingenuity talking sales playbooks. I'm excited.
Perfect.
Yeah, I know you're really passionate about that topic and
I
really
am.
believe in the power of the sales playbook. I always love hearing you talk about it. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that next week. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. You can connect with us at sellsmartersellfaster.com. And if you ever would like to ask Dani any questions, you can connect with her on LinkedIn and her Twitter. And I'm around too. If you ever have any questions for me, I do a lot of blogging stuff too. And one more time, this is Matt's contact information. That was all super quick, but you can always pause it if you want to go back and look at it. So thanks for joining. Dani, do you have anything else for us today?
Nope. Just have a wonderful week. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
All right. Bye, everyone. Have a great week.